Well, hello and welcome back to my workshop and part 7 of the JurgsCup3 video series. And don't forget, there's a JurgsCup4 challenge going on at the moment, so all the details are in the description below. Now then, I want to give you a bit of a warning because if you're a guitar builder, you might want to turn away, because this video is going to start off with scenes of cruelty to a guitar neck. Okay, so why have I done this? Well, I've been getting confused with my scarf joints, and this is all about neck thickness underneath the headstock itself. Now, I've fiddled around with different positions of the scarf joint, and I thought I'd come up with the optimum position, giving plenty of wood behind the headstock there to strengthen it. But in doing so, I've created myself another problem, and you'll see that the nut is too far forward, and this is the position it should be for the slope, and it's going to cause awful trouble because it's going to catch the truss rod cover and all sorts of things. The slope should start at the back of the nut, and then you've got no issue. But if I move the nut back, it's going to look ridiculous. So my only option is cut this headstock off and redo it, and this time put it in the right position. Okay. Third time lucky. I've prepared this all again and got the nut where the nut should be, and there's plenty of room. So, phew, that's done. This is the top for the spelted Alder guitar for my son-in-law. And this is the actual guitar. So what I'd like to do is get the top on it, and so I'll be looking at where I want to position the top, and I think if I get that on the centre line there, I think I'm looking at somewhere around there as a nice area to go for. So what I'm going to do is plonk the guitar on that spot there. Made a mistake of drawing round the template the other day, and of course the template is not the same as the guitar shape, because my quirky way of building guitars means that the shape does change as it goes. Anyway, as long as I mark it round this body, I should be okay. Use a nice thick pencil to get a wide line so I don't go too close, and can just shape it out afterwards. There we go. Let's get this cut out. Right, okay. Just line the centre line up there. Centre line up there. Let's check. Okay. There's the centre line, and there's the centre line. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I've got some bits to trim off there. That's not a problem. Yeah, let's prepare this guitar to stick the top on. Okay, so it turns out there's a lot I can do with this guitar top before I actually stick it on top of the body. And I've spent the morning, in fact most of the day, measuring out things and trying to come up with different designs. Carolyn has really helped me come up with a design for the sound hole. I wanted something a little bit more contemporary than the old F hole, and I found a jazz bass with a rather nice sort of wave shape on it. Carolyn's taken that idea and sort of developed it a little bit further on, so it's yeah, it's looking good. Rather like that. So I think the next step is to start cutting out these shapes. What I want to do is cut out the shapes on the top there and then see where that top might need strengthening. Well, that's a great little scroll saw that I've got there, and I think it's done the job. I've got to obviously sand these down to just get to the shape, and particularly this one here. And I also want to put some dark binding in this as well. So yeah, I need to do a bit of work there, but it's told me where I need to do some strengthening, and I'm a bit concerned about this area here, especially where the joint is, because this wood is not the hardest of wood, I'll be honest with you. So yeah, I think a few strengtheners, especially one under the bridge, one underneath there, should do the job. I've had a rummage through my box of wood offcuts and found some wood that I can use just to strengthen the back of the Alder top. And what I'm doing putting the grain at 90 degrees to the grain on the top. So I've got some pieces of walnut here which will be really good just to strengthen it. I've got some at the back here as well, and I've also got this block which will help me screw the bridge down and give it strength. And so everything's ready. I now need to glue it, and to do that I'm going to have to use my little Goode rig here, so just to hold all those pieces down. So let's get some glue and get sticking. Right, well, it's been a few weeks since I left you with this under the go bars. I was going to say go-go bar, but I think that's a different thing, isn't it? Anyway, I've been juggling hollow body and solid body guitar building, and I've been doing a lot of solid body. So I'm back to doing a bit of hollow body, and I want to get on with this top. Right, I said I was going to bind the inside of this wave, and that's what I've done. I've done it with Santos rosewood, and it's looking pretty good. And I've put some wood dust and glue filler in it, and I've been using my palette again. And if you haven't got one of these and you build guitars, you're missing out. This is just wood dust using different glues, different dusts, and it tells you exactly how it's going to dry. I've been using this mahogany and ash mix to fill this gap, and it looks like it's going to do the job really well. Let's sand it down and have a look. Yeah, well, I didn't bore you with the sanding. I think, you know, you've probably seen enough of that. That looks pretty good. Just put a bit of water on it just to dampen it off a bit, see where it goes. Yeah, it looks good. Right, I'm using my JurgsCup3 guitar as a guide to where to put all the controls. Now, this is literally made out of scraps from the garden. This was an old scaffold board, the back, which had been in the garden for about 5 years as like a walkway. Had been walked over. And all of this is loads of offcuts. This is metal that my daughter found in her garden. Bits of old router. You name it, we made a guitar from rubbish. So if you haven't seen the video, go and have a look at it. Somebody said, well, it looks just like a homemade guitar. Well, funnily enough, it is. Anyway, it plays brilliantly, one of my favourite guitars. And thank you very much to Daniel at Devil & Sons who supplied the pickups for me. Right, now then, I've marked where these controls are. Now, I'm not going to put any plates or anything on this new guitar. It's all going to go on the top. So what I'll do is just line that all up and just mark where those holes are. I think I'll drill the holes before I stick it down. Right then, I've got 3 holes on the top, and I've also taken the opportunity to drill the jack socket. And I think the jack socket's going to be okay because I've actually got a strengthening piece inside. So I think that's going to be okay just as it is. Now, one of the things about making hollow body guitars is that everything has to go in through the pickup holes. There's no chance of getting in any other way. So before I put the top on, I just want to experiment with how I can get the jack socket through the hole there. Now then, I could put a plate on there and make my life a lot easier, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm assuming I can get a piece of string through from the pickups through the hole, and that's not a problem. Here we go. We're pulling it in. Oh, there's the hole. Right, get that into there, tuck it round and pull it through. Yep, got it through, look at that. Now then, I've got to get that off. Let's do that with a knife. Reaches for a knife. Cut the wire, cut the string off. Magic. Apologies for the interruption. Just lifting some bags of compost. Right. Oh, now then, doing it wrong again. So I've got to maintain a grip with this piece of metal. Clear out all the crud if I can. Now then, my idea is to slip the washer and the nut over that and then tighten it up like so. And then I should be able to get that back, get it out again. Yeah, I did. Well, I think it's going to work. Of course, it's going to be a lot more interesting once we've got the top on and we've got all the wires soldered in. But you know what? We'll get there in the end. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do is just sand this top down, stick that on. Right, I've got my cheapskate bench cookies, blocks of wood with anti-slip on one side and a bit of foam padding on the top there. Seem to work okay. We'll plonk the guitar on that. Right, I've checked the joint, it looks really good. I think I'll treat this joint to a bit of tight bond, and I've got my cheapskate violin clamps ready to go. So yeah, let's get some glue on this guitar and stick it down. Well, I've gone for a belt and braces approach there. Let's hope that, that pans out okay. So I've got the top glued onto the body and I'm really pleased with that. It's looking really quite nice. I've sanded it all down roughly so the top fits the bottom there. So now I'm going to move back on to the neck. Now this guitar is for my son-in-law Mike, who sings with the band Colours of One. Now Mike was born in South Wales and lived there all his life. Now he a few years ago decided he wanted to learn to speak Welsh, and we're really proud of him because now he's a fluent Welsh speaker. It's quite amazing, to the extent that he appeared on the Welsh version of The Voice, and he got through the first stage of that process and sung in Welsh, spoke in Welsh. So this guitar is a reflection of that, and I've set myself a bit of a challenge for the inlay on the fretboard. So my idea is to create a Welsh dragon using shells. I'm going to have to do it in little sections, and what I've started doing is cutting up the old dragon and sticking it on little pieces of shell so that I can cut these out and then assemble them. So it's going to be a really interesting inlay to do, but I'm confident that I can pull it off. Now I want to get on with that, but before I do that I need to sort out the fretboard. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting all the fret slots in this fretboard blank so that then I can do the inlay and then cut it down to size, shape it, etc., stick it on the neck. So this is my next job. You can see I've just started. This is my little fixture for cutting fret slots. So I'm going to get on with this, and I'll be back with you in a flash. Right, well I started this video by chopping up a neck and replacing the headstock, which I've done. I've got a truss rod channel in there as well. Needs to be shaped on the back. Got the fretboard slotted, so I need to start doing the inlays on that, and I've got the body all glued up, so making progress. I'm going to call this video a day. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your comments. Please stay with me with this series, and see you soon. In the meantime, stay safe. Cheers.